Do you know why you believe what you believe? Have you questioned yourself? I don't think any of us can answer that honestly without some ignorance of our beliefs completely. We haven't scanned every source, we haven't questioned every belief we haven't sought out all the information that supports our beliefs. We haven't grounded every claim, every statement, but we can try. And we can make progress. We can find evidence, we can find substantial reason to believe what we believe. It takes effort, it takes time, it takes reading and searching and confusion, feeling lost, but we can find out certain things about the world, about history, about God, about reality through studying, through questioning ourselves and going to the foundations of our presuppositions of the world, of our beliefs, of all those things. But most of the world, most people don't even think of these things. They don't even question why they believe what they believe or how they came to believe it. They've just taken it from their upbringing, from their school, from their education, from their biases. Most people do that. I've done it. But that leads to a life not worth living. As Socrates says, an unexamined life is not worthy of living. Most people have never opened up the Bible. Most people have never looked into philosophy and presuppositional thinking, questioning the fundamental building blocks to a worldview, to your idea of what the world is and what you're doing here and why you're here and what is good, what is right, what is wrong, all of those questions. We have to ask them. But most of us don't. And you think they're so fundamental, but most of us think they're just self-evident when they're not self-evident. You don't want to be a sheep. You don't want to be this blind follower of this tyrannical rhetoric, following politicians, following these people online who don't really know what they're talking about. They're just speaking what they've heard from others. They're going over what they've been told, what they've been led to believe, without any real reasoning, any real study, and any real grounding. Most people online are doing that. They're just speaking through emotion, through no real grounding. They haven't searched for primary sources. They haven't gone to the text which they're speaking on, which their worldview is founded on. They haven't actually studied and questioned themselves. And of course, we can't fully do that in a way, but at the same time we can really try and get close to doing that. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. But most influencers, most people you see online have not looked into why they're doing what they're doing, what is good, what is evil, why are they even here, what is the purpose of life. And they're telling you what to do with your life, they're telling you how to live your life, but they don't have any real grounding for why. Why is it right? Why is it good? Why are you moving this way? Stop being a blind follower. And stop thinking you know things which you don't actually know. Go to primary sources, read the texts. Read, it takes effort to read, it's hard. Most of us can't be bothered, I can't be bothered most of the time to read. I used to hate reading. I used to completely think reading was for nerds and for geeks and for, I had that type of attitude as a young man. But when you really start to question yourself and you really start to think about what is true, what is good, and you see the misinformation in the world, you see the lies and the manipulation of the media, of people in your life, and you come across different arguments, you come across different worldviews, which you will if you don't live in an echo chamber, then you'll start to think, all right, I want to know why I believe what I believe and what is it that I believe. And you have to read, you have to use your critical thinking and go to the sources of different books, of different information, and scan them and attentively read them to actually ground an opinion, to actually know that you know the source. Because people can claim, like I can claim a source, I could claim this, I could tell you about this book, but that's my interpretation of that book. So you need to go and have your own interpretation of books, go and have your own interpretation of information, and reason and question. And most importantly, with the scriptures, with the church fathers, with philosophy, we have to have the church, we have to have the Orthodox Church to have an authority to interpret the texts, to understand the books, to know, to ground the truth. That's why we have the church. That's why God established the church with the authority to bind us to certain beliefs, certain understandings and creeds. But that's with, I guess, the foundations of reality as well. God is the one who defines what is right and wrong. God is the one who truth proceeds from. Reality proceeds from God. This physical world and all the metaphysical things we see, truth, love, logic, all of these things, these metaphysical realities, they presuppose God. But that's something you have to look into. Don't just take my word for it. Stop taking people's word for things like it's the holy truth. Doesn't mean that the things I'm saying aren't truths, but it's like, take it as a pinch of salt in a sense, and really find and seek out to find the answers for yourself. We live in such a lazy world where no one actually seeks out the answers, as I've said. No one wants to do the hard work of studying, of reading, of looking at and scanning information. That needs to be done. That needs to be done. I'm trying to do it. I don't always do it. Sometimes I take people's word for it and have so many unanswered presuppositions to my beliefs which I shouldn't have. But I'm trying to find my reasons, trying to find my evidence, trying to find the information that I need to live the truth, to speak the truth, to know the truth. So do the same. God bless.